Hi guys, Shane here with Whelan cameras, and today I'm looking at the Nikon Z6 Mark II. The Nikon Z series mirrorless cameras are a great system, I think. I really enjoyed the Z6 and the Z7 when they first came out in 2018, and I felt that they got a little bit of bad press. For me, those cameras are built well, they have a great grip, a big, beautiful, bright EVF, they produced amazing images, and from someone who does a lot of video, I thought that they really pushed the boat out in terms of what the video capabilities were. So one of the really big problems that people had with the Z6 is that it had one card slot, and it only had a slot for an XQD or a CF Express card. What I really feel like with the Mark II series of these is that they've listened to what people were saying, they've heard the complaints, and they've put all of those things into this series. This camera is not necessarily a big leap forward in terms of what Nikon is able to deliver, but it definitely addresses a lot of the issues that the consumer was having with the Mark I. So what I'm gonna do here, just quickly, while I have you guys, is I'm gonna break down exactly what the differences are between the Z6 Mark I and the Z6 Mark II. So here we go. So as you can see here, the Nikon Z6 and the Z6 Mark II are very similar in a lot of ways. The first big difference between the two cameras is the card slots. The Nikon Z6 has just the one and it's an XQD, and the new one, the Mark II, has an additional UHS-2 SD card slot. So the second big difference here is the battery. We were on the EN-EL15B, and now we're on the EN-EL15C. God, they don't make it easy. The next thing here is they are very slightly different in their dimensions. The next one here is that it can apparently focus at a lower EVF. So you might want to test this out for yourselves. I didn't really notice this in my own testing. The big one here is the continuous shooting. We've moved from 12 to 14. And again, both that battery and that card slot is going to help you with that. That's great. A kind of a curious one, which I think is really cool for Nikon to do, that I wish other camera companies would do, is they have adjusted what their lowest shutter speed is. Now I know all cameras can do bulb mode, which is really handy, but Nikon here have made it so that you can actually adjust it all the way up to 900 seconds, and they've given you that bulb mode as well. And that's just really cool, and I kind of, again, it's one of those little things that I wish other camera companies would adopt. All right guys, but anyway, enough numbers, facts, and figures. I want to take this thing out and I want to see how it works in the real world. So I'm going to go out with it now, I'm going to test it, and we'll see what happens.
I'm John, and I've been using Nikon since I was a child. Love what Nikon are doing now. Nikon have waited a while to bring out their mirrorless DSLRs. Everybody was saying, "Oh, what are Nikon doing? You know, well, they come up with something." What Nikon did was they waited until they had the right criteria in the camera, and they wanted to be able to bring out a mirrorless DSLR that people went, "Whoa, yeah, this is it. This is what I want." So I love everything about these cameras. I love the physical size of them. I love the way the menus are laid out. I love the way you can either use your LCD screen, you can go to your optical viewer, And everything in the viewfinder here that you adjust, you can see it happening. With these, with the touchscreen on the Z6 Mark II, you can literally just touch it, touch your autofocus, single point, pop, it's okay, you're on straight away. So very easy to use. And if you change anything on the video mode and you go into photo, back into video, it'll stay where it was. Z6 Mark II, Z7 Mark II, Nikon going in the right direction with all their cameras. Just looking forward to what they're going to bring out next. But on this camera, absolutely no problem. It will do everything you need.
Okay guys, there you have... That's better. Okay guys, so the Nikon Z6 Mark II, and just before I finish up and give my very, very final roundup thoughts, I want to commend Nikon for adding the Mark II to their camera name. It's not going to blow the 6 out of the water. You know, there's nothing really in here that I think, oh, the 6 is now worthless. I think the 6 is actually a great camera. I think it was a great camera when it came out, but it did have those few issues that for some people were a deal breaker. And I think Nikon have listened to those consumers, and with this newest release, they have put in a few extra bits that bring the 6 up, but also address all of those previous problems. So normally at this moment, I would say come in and have a chat with us about the camera, but we are about to go into lockdown, so do not come in, stay at home. But do have a chat with us. You can still reach us online on our website, whelancameras.ie. We're on Facebook, we're on Instagram, we have email, and we have our phone number. The guys will be here shipping out orders still, even though we'll be shutting down. So we will be here on hand to answer any questions you have about cameras, about equipment, about how to get the best out of your photography. We can do tutorials with you guys. There's so much that a local camera shop can provide that isn't just equipment. There's a lot more that goes on than that. So do think of us over the coming weeks, especially the lead into Christmas. If you're looking for buying something for yourself or for a loved one, do have a chat with us. Hopefully come in when you can and support local. Thanks so much, guys. Have a good one.